Chapter 8 Summary: The Camp Experience and Human Connection. In Chapter 8 of All Quiet on the Western Front, we find the protagonist, Paul Bäumer, in a familiar yet altered camp on the moors. The camp, where he once attended drills, feels different now, with many faces unfamiliar to him. The routine is mechanical, and in the evenings he seeks solace at the soldiers' home, where he plays the piano and observes the surroundings filled with beautiful yet melancholic scenes of nature. Paul reflects on his isolation and the changes that have taken place around him. The camp is surrounded by barbed wire fences, separating him and his comrades from a nearby Russian prison camp. The sight of the prisoners, thin, sick, and scavenging for scraps, challenges Paul's feelings about the war. He sees them as fellow human beings, sharing common suffering. They cautiously approach the wire fence, begging for food and exchanging items for small bites of bread, highlighting the desperation on both sides. As Paul interacts with the Russian prisoners, he grapples with the overwhelming misery of their existence, feeling both pity and a strange sense of kinship. He even shares cigarettes with them, momentarily bridging the gap created by war and commands. This connection evokes deep reflections on shared humanity and the arbitrary nature of enmity fostered by politics. The atmosphere shifts with the death of a Russian prisoner, prompting a melancholic burial where the remaining prisoners sing solemnly. Music becomes a poignant expression of their shared pain when a prisoner plays the violin, capturing the beauty and sorrow of their harsh lives. Paul's heart is heavy with the recognition of their mutual suffering and humanity, as he wishes to understand them beyond their role as enemies. Later, Paul receives a visit from his father and sister, but struggles with the burdensome weight of their conversation, mainly revolving around their mother's illness. The family's financial worries amplify the sense of despair, mirroring the scarcity and hardship faced by all. After a difficult day, Paul chooses to share the small comforts he received, homemade potato cakes, instead of keeping them for himself, by giving them away to the Russian prisoners, not his salvation. Ultimately, this chapter delves into themes of empathy, the shared plight of humanity amidst war, and the emotional toll that accompanies such experiences. Paul's internal conflict and growing understanding of the Russians underscore the war's dehumanizing effects, revealing a desire for connection and compassion even in the darkest times. Summary of Chapter 9 of All Quiet on the Western Front. In Chapter 9, the protagonist, Paul Bäumer, resumes his harrowing journey in a war-torn landscape, experiencing the chaos of military life as he tries to find his regiment. After a few days of wandering and searching for his friends, he finally reunites with his comrades, Kat, Albert, Tjaden, and Müller. The chapter highlights a moment of camaraderie as Paul shares the last of his food with them, signaling his deep bond and sense of belonging. As they prepare for the arrival of the Kaiser, the men undergo a frustrating period of inspections and drills, emphasizing how out of touch the high command is with the realities of frontline soldiers. The discussions among the soldiers reveal their cynicism towards the war, questioning its purpose and the motives behind it, particularly when they consider that both they and the French are simply trying to defend their respective homelands. The tone shifts dramatically when Paul participates in a patrol that leads him into a terrifying confrontation with the enemy. Separated from his comrades, he grapples with overwhelming fear and anxiety, a stark contrast to his earlier feelings of connection with the other soldiers. The chapter reaches a harrowing climax as Paul kills a soldier in a separate shell hole during a tense encounter. Even with the chaotic nature of war, the reality of killing hits him hard as he realizes the humanity of his foe, whom he learns is named Gerard Duval. This moment forces a painful reflection on the senselessness of war and the shared suffering of combatants, revealing deep themes of guilt, the loss of innocence, and the emotional toll of violence. As Paul tends Gerard's wounds, he feels a desperate connection to his enemy, recognizing that they are both victims of a larger conflict. He vows to write to Gerard's family, symbolizing his determination to honor the life he took and a desire for peace. Chapter 9 captures the intense emotional struggles of soldiers who are constantly caught between duty, fear, and a quest for meaning in the horrors of war, rendering a poignant portrait of human suffering amidst the brutality of battle.